I've got to talk about this film because I've seen it twice now, and my first review was a bit harsh, but my second review, which is this, I actually like it. So before I start the review, I want to say thank you to 20th Century Fox for inviting me down to London to watch the first Omen in a previous screening, or a press screening to say the least. And I also want to say thank you for giving me a poster, or an official poster, for the first Omen with a personalized message as well. So much appreciated. This is a movie that grew on me, and yes, we are talking about the first Omen. The first Omen is a prequel to the 1976 The Omen, which is literally about the Antichrist. In The Omen, which came in 1976, we are introduced to a character called Damien, who is the Antichrist. But in this film, the first Omen, we are introduced to the mother of Damien and how Damien came about. What was the plan to bring Damien into this world, and what was the purpose of it? I was a bit skeptical at first, and I'll tell you why. Normally when content creators get invited to press screenings normally happen a week or two before the actual release date. But this film, the screening for this film was basically 2 days before the release date, and the embargo was the day before. Set off red flags, alarm bells, ringing already. But when I watched the film, I was quite surprised. I thought this movie was going to be garbage. I had higher hopes, but at the same time, I was trying to not elevate those hopes further than it needed to. But man, this film was better than I expected. So Nell Tiger-Free stars as Sister Margaret. Well, she's not a sister yet. She's not a nun yet, but she's transitioning into a nun. There is a bit of a step-by-step system they have to follow. And to be fair, it's relatable to some of the people who are doing what she is doing. She is human. Nuns in most of these movies tend to be cold-hearted. She is showing us what it's like to be a nun and what is the purpose behind it, and I think that she was one of the most charismatic characters in the entire film. Nell Tiger-Free did an amazing job as Margaret. And this film is set in Rome, so 1971 in Rome. She has walked into what basically is a dark plan to bring the Antichrist, and yeah, it's a situation which no one wants to get into. And this film brings forward the idea of extremism, especially in the Catholic Church. Yes, you've got the battle between good and evil, but this film takes it a step further, and I'll tell you why. There is a massive conspiracy within the church, and that is bringing forward the Antichrist. And the reason why they're bringing forward the Antichrist, wait for it, so they can bring people forward to the church in fear.
How do you control people who no longer believe? You create something to fear.
Because if you see the Antichrist, oh, you're not going to join him. Oh no, you're going to run the opposite direction, and that's exactly what they plan to do. So bringing forward the Antichrist is a bit of a hypocritical stance they took in order to bring people back to the church. I love the lighting, I like the cinematography, the tone, the atmosphere. It was well done. Great use of chiaroscuro lighting, reminiscing past films within the same genre. It did it quite decent. I won't lie, I felt a bit uncomfortable with some of the scenes, and there are a few jump scares which happen very early in the film, but jump scares which are not there to be like, oh wow, there's a demon here, run away, hide. It gives you a sense of isolation and fear. I tell you what, I really enjoyed the score. The score was phenomenal. Now, when I went to watch the screening, we went into Regent Street Cinema in London, and that cinema is creepy as hell. And as I'm talking, I'm sure there should be some behind the scenes videos of me at the screening, but this is what the screen sounded like, and I'll tell you right now, it is horrific. And I said this before in my initial review, if you are pregnant, do not watch this movie. You will absolutely scar yourself. For any person who is, expecting to be a parent, don't watch this movie straight away. Wait until after you give birth, because this is going to make the process a lot more gruesome and excruciating in terms of anticipation. Trust me. And I'll tell you what I enjoyed by Nell Tiger-Free. There was one scene towards the end, the last 20 minutes of the movie, where she is essentially possessed. But within the scene of this film, there was literally a one-take shot, or one-shot take, whichever way you want to go about it. And she is literally getting possessed, and it felt long, but I was hooked in. It's literally an amazing shot, and it's an amazing scene as well. And I could hear everyone in the cinema. Well, that goes against the point. I didn't hear anyone. I just heard pin drop silence. Everyone's just literally absorbing what's happening within the scene. And that is something which I really wanted to get from this film, and I did. And the big question people always ask, Do you need to watch the original movies to understand this? No, you don't. You can actually watch this as a standalone movie, and yes, it does tie in with the 1976 film towards the end. It's actually a solid horror movie, one of my favorite this year, and that is saying a lot. So, the first Omen, what did you think of it? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Are you intrigued or are you not? Let me know in the comments. Check out my Letterboxd review, and hopefully I can see you in my next video.